Bismillah, assalamu alaikum people. It's your boy Moss here with another episode of The Scholar and the Student, and we have our first ever guests in my guest room today. Welcome from Kahawa Entertainment, multimedia company. We have TK.
Yeah, what's up?
And we have Teezy.
Yeah.
Yes, so you guys have a very special honor. You are the first ever guest on The Scholar and the Student, Botswana's first ever Muslim podcast. How does that make you feel? Oh, by the way, Ishaq, you're not a guest, you're one of us. So, how does that make you guys feel being on Botswana's first ever Muslim podcast?
Amazing. We are blessed, and the fact that we are the first guys to be here, it's an honor in itself, Moss.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Yeah, that's what's up. We're
Yeah.
truly honored to be in your podcast, man.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, I've already said that Kahawa Entertainment is a multimedia company.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys elaborate a bit more on what you guys do as a company and maybe on yourselves as individuals, what you guys are into and what really tickles your fancy?
Oh yeah. Kahawa, like we said, Kahawa is a promotional company where we do promotions. We promote businesses. We promote small businesses, big businesses, just any type of business that you're into. We promote it with visuals, with music, just basically entertainment. It's surrounded around entertainment.
We basically act like a medium in terms of if you want your brand to be communicated to the customer or whatever, we are there for you. So we promote your brand for you.
Excellent. That sounds really great. So you, if I can summarize what you said, you are like an alternative media outlet.
Yes.
I mean, in Botswana, us being us, we have only one TV channel, which is BTV.
Yes.
And you guys have worked with BTV
Yes.
before, so we're not dissing anyone who
Yeah.
works at BTV or anything. But you guys are an alternative. Because let's be honest, BTV is in Gabs. Us, we are in Mahalape. And there's a lot of work that we need to put in before we actually have anything to show to them. But you guys are very approachable. We've known each other for quite some time. So if there's someone in Mahalape who has a fresh new business and they get into contact with you, you guys can be that defining factor in the advertising, for example.
Yes. Yeah.
Because as the youth, I feel like we have to take everything matters into our own hands. So by us starting up our own thing, our own media platform, it'll get people our age to have a platform to actually express themselves.
Oh,
like you said.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really an excellent endeavor. And some people will be refuting me right now because, why are you getting these guys? They're not even Muslim. They said the word music, what. I'm like, guys, I'm a very controversial type of guy. One of my superpowers is to give people heart attacks just by being me. So I'm not going to pay for your medical bills. If you're genuinely enraged at this episode, please go click off and do something else or whatever.
Stop racism.
Yes. Because we know that's what that is at the heart of the issue, isn't it? Anyway, so why don't you guys tell us a bit more about how you guys started? I know you guys have got your comedic skits, which we see on Facebook. I'm actually on one of them as well. So self-promotion over here.
Yes,
so what was that one called? When you steal someone's food or something like that? Yeah. So I'm on that one. Look out for me over there as well. But why don't you guys tell us how exactly you started? Was it an idea someone had while they were sitting on the toilet or in the bedroom or something? What inspired you to do this, and why the specific set of people that you have? Like, why them? Why don't you go looking out for professional actors or something?
We started off around 2015 when I closed school. Actually, I was doing Form 5 back then in 2015. So when I closed, I was like, I had a camera. I had just a little camera from my dad's room, and I took it, and I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed shooting myself.
Experimenting.
Yeah, just myself. I started with myself only, but then it came to me. I came with an idea like, you know what? Let me just make a big media house. Let me just let me just add on music. Let me just add on video making, acting into just one thing with my cousins. Because I want to do something with my cousins, because my cousins are very talented.
And
Can
I break in? At first, and when he approached us at first, we were like, come on, man. That's ridiculous. What are you talking about?
Yeah, what the hell are you on about, man?
The only way we can actually do visuals and media is through BTV. So in our minds, we're like, come on, TK. But proceed.
We started off with music as well. We started with music. I remember I used to go to to Gabs. I used to go over to my brother's house, and Teezy would come. Teezy would come just from Block 10, come and record the whole weekend until I come back from Gabs to Mahalape.
Yeah, this is before the first video, everything, just
music. We were based on music. As time went on, 2017 we got into videography. We got into I made one video with my brother, my big brother, and it was the stone one. There was a big rock, and you did a few things.
When you feel like there's something in your shoe, and
I remember
that was
that
something
one,
extraordinary. We didn't actually plan to do that, but it just happened.
Wow.
And from there we just took off. We added my brother, and
I prior that I've never done any acting. So when I actually did my first video, it was just natural, and just natural.
Wait, so you never did any acting? Because we went to the same school, went to Kaswe together. So you never even... I remember, well, there were some assembly plays and those things, but I guess you don't really get to express yourself as much then.
Yes,
because
and I was a different guy back then. I was very shy, very... I was influenced by a lot of people. I couldn't just express myself, become my true self.
Well, self-authenticity is very important. I was actually recording a book review last night as well about House of Many Ways, and one of the themes in that book is about being authentic to yourself instead of just gobbling up what people tell you to do. People want you to be a certain way because it suits them and suits their agenda and whatnot. And look, if you want to be like that, that's fine. But you have every right as an individual to break away from that mold and be the self that you want to be. What's your take on that? And I believe Kahawa Entertainment is trying to push that agenda forward, that message forward, because I follow your skits. I remember that skit with Bo Hashma, that first one that was shot in Madiba, was it? That was the first one I think I saw properly, and then obviously I got involved in one of them. Like I said, I'm in one of them, and I'm very chuffed about that. My acting debut. I'll be telling
many more people.
Yes, I'll be telling my grandchildren about that first one. Anyway, so yes, I was saying that I feel that Kahawa and whatever it does, in everything that we follow it, whether it's photography, whether it's the skits that you guys are putting out, it's just this message of being authentic to yourself and not being bound by these artificial chains that many people just create in their minds. No one said that you have to do it like this, but just because you never bothered to think outside the box, or not even you, someone is feeding you this and they never thought to think outside the box. Now you are just digesting what they're saying and spitting it out as if it's your own thing.
Speaking of that, Moss, it's just the topic of generational curses, because the generations before us have done what they're doing, we have to follow in their footsteps, which don't necessarily relate to us. So Kahawa, we believe in self-identity. Even our skits, our videos, like you said, everything is us. Our acting is the same as our music. We just channel the same energies. Because we feel like if you're yourself, you can reach your goals faster. You make money faster. Everything comes faster because you're being yourself. It becomes easy,
Yeah,
So,
and just to speak on that, I read something the other day. It was about the previous generation. Their objective was survival.
Yes.
Whereas our objective is self-actualization. Finding out who we are, where we fit into this big puzzle called the world, and how we can use our gifts that we have to make this world a better place. So the world has become a different place from when we're not dissing anyone's parents. We're not saying that get rid of the old generation and what.
It's all education, people.
Yeah,
education.
I mean, sometimes we might come out as frustrated, but I guess that's part of the process. But the fact of the matter is that the world is a different place. Even from when we were children, I would say things were a lot more simple. Maybe that's just us growing up, or maybe the world genuinely has changed. But in this day and age, we can't just stick to the same things that our parents and grandparents did and expect us to come out okay, because their challenges and whatever skills they had were tailored to that generation, and us, we are something else altogether. So what do you guys say
Just
on that?
One thing that I have in mind is you have to discover your gift. As a person, discover the gift that God has planted in you, in order to to make a living out of it. People are different. So our gift was.
If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will forever believe it's stupid.
So I remember back in the day, when I closed my Form 5, I didn't know what I was gonna do. You know, in varsity, I had no idea. So this just came to me. I just thought to myself, I know how to sing, I know how to act, you know, I know how to, you know, to hold a camera. So this is kind of like my gift. So
You discovered yourself there.
I had to like, you know, really go into this gift, and it kind of worked. It worked well, and look at where I am right now. So I'm still going up. So
Most definitely. But since we're on this subject, would you say that everyone who has a gift must work in some way to monetize it, as in to get money out of it? Because some people just want to do it because they want to do it, not because they want to show other people, but it gives them that sense of like satisfaction. I'm doing this because this is me and this is what I love doing. If the money comes, good, but if it doesn't come, that's also good. But at the same time, if you have that mentality, you're not going to be able to be a profitable business. You might not be able to even like pay your bills every month, and you might find yourself like sinking. So based on this like dilemma that I've described, how would you give advice to people?
I'm just saying, if it doesn't work out for you, or like, you know, the thing is, really know what you want. You know, do the thing that you can, but also be a cash cow. You can be a cash cow. You can do other businesses that can fund your talent.
And to also add on to that, it depends on the country. If your country is not like, it's like is it third world? Huh? What's Botswana?
Yeah, that's the old
world
terminology.
Yes.
Nowadays,
Yes.
well, for a long time they've been using LEDC and MEDC,
Yes,
so less
yes.
economically developed
Yes.
country and MEDC.
Yes.
Botswana is actually none of those. It's in the middle.
It's in the middle.
Yeah,
Okay, excuse
basically.
my ignorance, but yeah, but you get what I'm saying. If your
Yeah.
country is not really that developed and everything, you have to think about. You have to be realistic. Also having
really,
that, yes, but never take away from your gift. Be realistic because you're living in a realistic world, but also you have to keep a balance. And I believe in balance in anything you do. And with that balance, you have to mesh the realistic world with your dreams and merge that together.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the mistake a lot of young people make. You know, they just get lost in their vision. But with this vision is spirit. So you need to manifest it in the physical. And by manifesting the physical, you have to find ways to sponsor that vision. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, so, I mean, in a way, what you're saying is that in addition to knowing what your gift is, knowing yourself means that you know your limitations, what you cannot do, what you don't have the capability to do, and which limitations you would not like to cross as of yet. So basically, bringing a balance, like I said, I really like that term, and having a very realistic approach and outlook to your dream and how you're going to manifest it in this world. That's great. And yeah, so in that context, I think when it comes to doing many things at once, so myself, I have a law degree, and this podcast that you see is really a passion project. It's not something that I necessarily decided to embark on my own, but in many ways, your side project, your passion project can actually help you, because in my CVs, I have openly stated that I am the host of Botswana's first ever Muslim podcast, which to any employer, even in the legal field, should turn their heads and ask them like, well, this guy really has a talent in this. And there was a story not too long ago about this other guy who wanted to get into medical school in the States. And that's really hard. In the States, you don't go to med school like after you do your Form 5 or whatever. In the States, you have to do another degree first, like a bachelor's in science in something. And then going to med school is a postgraduate degree. So you won't be going there until really you're almost 30. So, and you, of course, you need very good grades and all those kinds of things. So this guy, what he did, this was back in the day when having a website was all that. I mean, even now you could say that it's all that. So I think his website was about helping people cope in medical school and all that. So when he graduated from medical school, his grades weren't that great, but in his CVs he always mentioned that I had this website and this channel on YouTube, whatever, helping people go through med school and giving them tips and tricks. That really impressed his employers, and he got employed despite not making the average cut with his grades.
He was pushing,
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. So that shows you really how something such as this podcast or whatever it is you do, maybe you're a writer, you're a poet, whatever, something like that, you may not think it has a direct impact on your professional life,
Yes.
but it may have a bigger impact than you initially perceive. Have you guys had any experiences such as that? I mean, I know this is amazing, and it may be one in a million type of experience, but I don't think this is something that's too much of a fairy tale to believe.
I believe the youth, we don't really believe in our product as much as we should. That's why we don't even put it in our CVs as you. And that's amazing. I felt like that's amazing. Something I've always thought about as I'm making my CV. I'm like, is it worthy? Should I put it, or it's gonna destroy my chances? Or so. As long as we take our vision, our product seriously, I think we should actually do that. But yeah.
I feel like people have abandoned their dreams, they have abandoned their talents.
And this ties into self-authenticity as well. Do you really want to be working for someone who has a problem with the fact that you have a podcast? And you're going to be working for this guy like 9 to 5, maybe 200 days of the year, whatever it is. So do you really want to be in that sort of environment that this guy really hates your guts because you have a successful multimedia company or you have a successful podcast going up on YouTube? Do you really want to like live like that for a good portion of your life? Because when you have contracts at a firm or whatever, it goes on for like 5 or 10 years sometimes. So is it really worth it having this sort of negative energy piling up on you like that? You really have to ask yourself that question, and I would never recommend that myself.
I don't want negative energy. I don't recommend people to live in negativity. Because negativity can actually, it destroys. It actually destroys. It doesn't build anyhow at all.
So energy is a real thing. People don't understand energy. Positive energy, negative energy is something that's real, and you need to choose which one you want, because it's gonna affect your success and your life. And everything you do.
Yeah, of course. And there are some things about us which we have pride in, which we don't want to remove from that. I mean, like, for example, myself, I'm Muslim. If there's an employer who has a problem with that and he doesn't like me because I'm Muslim, I'm not going to work for the guy. As simple as. Like, my sisters, they wear the headscarf, and some of them are in the legal field as well. So when they apply for jobs, you can see that they're visibly Muslim. And if an employer has a problem with that, they're not going to go and go for that job and what have you. If an employer has a problem with the size of my beard or whatever, then for me, these things, because they're close to my heart and I believe in them with a passion, I don't think that this is a worthy endeavor to jump into. Yes, you choose your battles. Sometimes you need to compromise here and there. I mean, interactions with other people are almost always compromising, but you can't compromise to such an extent for people who will never care about you. Like when you're going to die, are these guys going to come to your funeral even? I mean, besides coming to eat the food, obviously, but because they genuinely care about you.
You're investing your time, you're investing your livelihood, you're sacrificing your family time, your social life, everything to this guy that you're working for to enhance his empire.
Yeah, to enhance his dream, to enhance his vision. That's I feel like as well. The thing that made me create Kahawa as well is because I wanted to make something that is of my own. I wanted us to make something that is of our own. To build the whole community that we're in. The thing that we're doing. Entertainment. Music. Everything. The whole production company is just to make other people look at us and
to be a platform for the other people. For the whole nation, for the whole nation of entertainers.
We're not trying to limit anyone. We're not trying to work with specific people. We work with everyone. That's why we work with you. That's why we worked with Hashmat. That's why we worked with a lot of people.
And speaking of that, sorry to cut you off, but the industry itself is low in our country because of the division within the industry. Everyone feels like I have my fan base, I have these people that follow me, I'm gonna keep them to myself. And everyone really has a following if you really think about it, whether a lot or not. But imagine if we all came together.
And work together.
South African industry, American industry, they come together, work together, and they don't need to because they're all successful
and they make magic. So
and in terms of, we are talking about the industry and all that, how important would you say it is to kind of, you see, here's the industry, to kind of come out in another direction, create a different sort of platform, an alternative such as Kahawa, but obviously on different types of fronts. I mean, you have an alternative to media here. What about an alternative to theater, for example, an alternative to the acting industry and so on and so forth. Because when you come out, yes, I mean, I guess what's there to stay is there to stay. It doesn't look like BTV is going away anytime soon or something like that.
Definitely not.
But yeah, some people are like, they're screaming like, no, why? But yeah, that's them. but yeah, BTV is here to stay, guys.
Yeah.
So
it's like that first sibling, that firstborn sibling that's already there. You lose the house, you have no choice but to follow it. Yeah.
So yeah, I was saying that you know what's already set in stone, I guess, or is there to stay is there to stay. But how important is it to come out with an alternative platform, an alternative way of doing things that not only caters for you and your specific thing, because sometimes you may think you're in the minority, but there are more people who think like you and actually see the need for this. And some people may not have, you know, ever wondered, or they've never perceived the fact that they needed this in their lives, but then they see you and they're like, this is what I needed all this time. How important is it to create these alternative platforms? And not only platforms, but alternative methods of employment even, because getting a proper like daytime job, as important as it is getting harder by the day. So in order to sustain ourselves, we really need to think outside the box. How many times are we going to open up an auto spares shop or whatever? How many of those are in Mahalape already, in this little town that we call Mahalape? How many cell phone shops are there? It's how important would you say it is to come up with these new ideas that will really sell like wildfire to people? Or even if they don't sell, at least they can become a test subject for something that you can learn in the future and then make an even better product.
It's very important. It's very important. You know, as a youth in Botswana, you gotta find a gap. You gotta know which opportunities are there in your community. You know, you gotta see. You gotta create a job. You know, don't actually wait for a job.
Don't be afraid to start.
Yeah. So that's the thing. That's the thing you have to do. You gotta employ yourself. You know, create jobs. You know, be your own boss.
Yes.
You know. So yeah.
If you are your own boss, you won't take a loss.
Yeah, that's a good one. And for those of you who are into academics, like even myself, finishing up this law degree, yes, definitely satiate your curiosity, and if you have the bucks, definitely go and pursue your studies further. But what we're talking about now is not about like intellect and academia and all that. What we're talking about now is having a sustainable career, because that's something that you'll have to do on the side at the very least. I mean, if you don't want to do entrepreneurship full time, at the very least you need something to keep sustaining yourself. Okay, so we've discussed quite a lot with you guys today, and thank you very much for coming out to the studio. Are there any like final words that you would like to impart to our audience before you leave?
Yeah, just basically follow us, you know, like our page on Facebook. Our pages, Kahawa Visuals, Kahawa Sound, Kahawa Visuals BW.
Well, on Instagram, YouTube too. We haven't really emphasized on YouTube and Instagram, but we're mostly on Facebook. Check us out on Facebook. Yeah, and if you wanna call us for any jobs, to anything to promote your product, because we promote products of any entity, you can call us on 77703 and
just you'll see the info on our pages.
On our pages,
Yeah, and we'll put in some links for that in the description down below. Yeah, and I think if we can summarize today's session is that, guys, don't be afraid to follow your dreams and follow your passion. At the same time, be realistic about it. It's not a Hollywood story. You're not going to become like Goku from Dragon Ball Z. You start as a kid, and then by the end of Dragon Ball Super, you're like a multi-universe level entity or something like that.
It's not
definitely,
a fairy tale.
yeah, have that vision in your head, but know your limitations as well.
And can I say one more thing?
Of course.
Passion. Please be passionate. Have passion for whatever you do. With passion comes success. Period.
And balance.
Passion.
Be
and
realistic.
Passion and balance. We might as well just make that the title of this whole session. Passion and balance. Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you for taking your time out and coming out to my house today to record this session out of your busy schedules. You know, I know you guys have got a lot going on for yourselves. But yeah, thank you for coming out.
That's what's up, man. That's
what's up.
Yeah,
Big
man.
Moss. Yeah.
All right, I hope we can continue this relationship and work together in
Most
the future.
definitely.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that. We had our first ever guests in our little studio here in Mahalape. So yes, guys, remember to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us in the comments below what you felt about this episode, how we can improve, because we're always striving for improvement.
Yeah.
So from Mahalape, we have Teezy, TK, and your boy Moss.
Yes.
Until next time,
One love.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace upon you guys.
Peace.
Peace.